Hello all, welcome to this user level description of language model for insurance quotes generation. Let us look into what is a large language model and how it is used to generate quotes for health insurance. A large language model is a neural network based transformer architecture that uses the attention mechanism. Now, how it works is if you give a partial sentence to it, it will give the next word that comes in the sentence. From the next word, it gives the next word, and like that, it can complete the sentence. Now, from this, it can complete paragraphs and give answers to questions. So it can be converted into a question-answer session. Now, applications of large language models include sentiment analysis, text summarization, classification, and many others. But here we will be using it for insurance quotes generation, that is health insurance. Now, how it is done, we will look into that. Now, health insurance quotes, it goes like this, that the user gives certain inputs, which are the health parameters of the users. The LLM processes the data and produces a customized personalized insurance quotations. Now here you will see that there are traditional systems which are doing the same thing, but because the large language model generates personalized health insurance quotes on user provided medical parameters, so it is going to be very useful and successful in the market. Now, user interacts with this system using a user-friendly interface, which can be web or mobile-based. Now, let us look into it further. It uses a pre-trained LLM model. Now, we are not going to build the LLM model from scratch, but we are going to use an existing large language model, and which has been trained for general purpose applications, and we will fine-tune it for the medical domain. We will fine-tune it rather for the medical insurance domain. Now, in this, the user inputs the age, medical history, the medical condition, and other parameters like BMI and BP, and maybe also the family size and the coverage type of the health insurance required. And the LLM will provide a personalized quotation for the user. Now, the output presentation may be a single figure, the quotation, the amount of money that the user has to pay, or it can be more complex visualizations that could be desired by the user. That is up to you, to the project makers to decide. Now, we have to keep in mind that privacy and security of the users have to be carefully kept in mind for this application. Now, coming to the point as to already traditional systems are existing which can generate quotes for health insurance, for other insurance applications also, why we need another application? So answer is simple, that this one is a personalized system. It is giving more precise results, and it gives accurate figures for the quotes for the users. Now, why this is so? Because it uses wide range of health parameters and historical data and gives specific results for specific users. While the traditional system is using fixed rules and generalizations, so it is keeping people in generalized categories. But this one is very finely tuning the persons involved. Their data is processed carefully, and for each person, a very accurate figure is given for the premium that has to be paid. This system makes risk assessment also very minutely, and a correct risk assessment is made by the system. Of course, it reduces human bias. Traditional systems are semi-automated, and human involvement is there always. But here, we are using only the machine, and machine considers only facts and figures. Further, it is interesting that you can add more data to this model as you wish, as you go on, and then it can be continuously improved. The accuracy can be continuously improved as and when more data is added to the model. This is an additional advantage of using an LLM-based health insurance system. Now, let us look into this interesting part, that is what is the technology stack that is required for this project development. And of course, we are using a pre-trained model, which could be GPT-4, BERT, or Mistral 7.B. And then we are going to fine-tune these LLM models. UI is HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, or it can be of the choice of the students. That is up to you to decide. Python, TensorFlow with Keras is also desirable, but the choice is the student's choice. Of course, Jupyter Notebook will be used, or you could use any other cloud services which are provided for it. Now, thing is that here a lot of computations are involved. When the machine is being trained, the model is being trained, then a lot of computations are involved. There is embedding of the parameters, and then there is a vector processing, and so it requires high level of computations. Now, for this, we need a GPU power to process such large amounts of data. But it is not to worry, because Google Colab is providing GPUs access for free. And not only Google Colab, there are other alternatives also. And there are other means which we can get GPU services. And then it is not to be a point to worry about. The lot of computation power is available in the free sources, in the open sources. So that is not an issue. AWS SageMaker or Hugging Face could be other places where we could be using. Now, once the model is developed, we could do future enhancements on it. And there could be immense number of possibilities. And rather than my listing those possibilities, I think it is the student's imagination that should see what are the other enhancements that could be possible. And that can be done at a much later stage. But more important and more interesting is the electronic healthcare records. If the healthcare records of the patients are stored somewhere on a central server, then rather than the user inputting the records himself, it can be taken up from the EHR services which are placed on the servers. Multi-language support is another area where could be worked, and multiple insurance plans could be given to the user. Instead of giving a single quotation for the premium, multiple quotations could be given based on the different plans offered by different companies and offered by different schemes. A voice interface or mobile interface could be used. Interactive chatbot could be the front end for this, where user can effectively communicate, interact with the system. He has any doubts or queries, he can ask those queries. And most important is that the patient's security, patient safety, accuracy, and ethical considerations, the confidentiality of the data should be preserved. The patient's information should not be disclosed to the public. It should be kept confidential. That is important. So that is the brief description of at a user level description of the project, where insurance quotes are getting generated by a large language model. Some references are given here, which you all can refer to. And the first one is to understand the traditional system. And the second is about the data. And the third is also where you can search for the data. Some data sources are given here, but what I will suggest is you can look for still better and better data and get better and improved systems for yourself. So that is the description of large language model for insurance quotes generation. My email is given at the beginning of this presentation, and you can connect with me if you have any further queries. Then we can go forward from that. Thank you and best wishes.